How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about which Omicrons you want to apply first as a new player. If you make a new account in this game, I'm going to be focusing on what you should put on, not necessarily what you should avoid, because the things I don't recommend are usually things you want to avoid. So just up front, I will tell you, I do have a Grand Arena bias or focus. Bias sounds like it's, just a personal preference. It's more important for resource income. However, early on, Grand Arena is not making too much of a difference because in Carbonite, you're not really getting far of anywhere. However, it is the most fun and it is going to last you the longest, going to be the most important. But we have a couple non-Grand Arena Omicrons in this. This is also based on my traditional farming path because I like Phoenix first. I like Galactic Republic fleets and Java Leia, all that. So keep all that in mind. But I'm going to be going over what I think is a good order as well. So like first Omicron up through the 10th. So the first Omicron I'd recommend getting, and this is not the first one I applied personally, this is not exactly the order I went in for Gotenks, because when I started, level 85 wasn't accelerated, a lot of things were different. But why I think Captain Rex is good for your first Omicron, he's a great candidate for an early Zeta. His Zeta is available at level 72. So that is something you're able to get very early, very quickly. Even with the accelerated level 85, you can get it before a lot of other characters because a lot of them are in the 80s, 82, 84. But he has an Omicron that's going to be applicable to your early team, and it's going to last a long time. It's never going to go out of style because Captain Rex has always been super valuable in some way or another. Whether you run him on the Phoenix team as a beginner, put him with clones in 3v3, or Galactic Legend Leia. It's awesome. So the baseline for any Grand Arena, extra 30% crit damage, 60% health, and 25 speed. That is just great stats. And on top of that, in 5v5 Grand Arena for Phoenix, whenever they are afflicted with ability blocker days, they dispel it, inflict 2 stacks of damage over time on enemies for 3 turns. And then whenever Rex uses his basic, it recovers 10% health protection. And that's going to apply for all Phoenix, because that's how Harris spreads things around. It makes you able to counter things like, well, if you have like all relics or something, an old school Lord Vader team, or Inquisitors or something that do a lot of debuffs and might inflict ability blocker days, and you're not going to worry about that because you just shrug it off. It's fantastic. And then 3v3, he just transforms clones. And for my approach to the early game, focusing on Galactic Republic fleet, you might have a 5s or a Rex built up. I don't really build up Rex as much, but if you just have 5s and then a weaker Rex, you got a solid 3v3 team there if you have Captain Rex as well. So the armor shred, chance to dispel buffs, just really good all around, and just one that's going to last a long time. And it applies to probably the first team you're really going to be working on to get you through everything in the beginning, which is Phoenix. The second Omicron I'd recommend, this was actually my first on Gotenks, and I debated making it first in this, but he doesn't necessarily fit as well into the very beginning game since you get to level 85 so fast. So I might delay him a bit. And Trey, takes a little bit longer to get up and running. But the reason you want Savage so early, he's a one-man team, and he's not only a one-man team on offense, he's a one-man team on defense. But that doesn't mean he has to be by himself. On defense, you put him with any team. He's going to get you holds early. In Carbonite, people really don't know how to handle Savage Press, especially when he's more built up. If you have him below gear 12, it's a little bit less impressive, but it just does so much for him. In Grand Arenas, he gets 50% defense, max health, and offense, very important stats, and 30 speed. At the start of the encounter, he gains 10 stacks, 2 stacks of resilient defense, max 10. So he's going to be taunting all the time. They're forced to hit him. Whenever he is critically hit, he gains 60% health steal on offense, max 160%. So he's really going to ramp up that health steal on offense. He's naturally through his unique already getting a bunch of heal over time, so he is just staying alive forever. Ultimately, his destination is a Trey team, but even if you don't have Trey right away, he's going to do some great stuff for you on defense. He's not really a solo machine on offense until he's in relics, but if you get him built up decently, he can be a solo machine for you. Just fantastic. This is one that has never gone out of style, even in Cairo 1. I can't remember the last time there's a Grand Arena where I didn't use Savage Press. So great early, great late. Omicron number 3 is Mr. Wampa. So Wampa is behind Savage. He's a better solo machine on offense, but he doesn't do anything on defense. He's an entirely offensive beast, but his Omicron is just insane. Plus 100% tenacity. There are no other active allies. You get 75% defense, max health, Max protection doubled if there's only one active enemy. So especially if you're cleaning up like a big target like a GL or something, he's going to get double all that. Whenever he's damaged by an attack, he's doing some dots. And then the cooldown of Fury's foes reduced, and he gets 30% tenacity whenever he's hit. So you kind of want to give him a little bit of extra tenacity if you're expecting debuffs coming your way very early on, before any other hits are coming. But he is going to max out that tenacity pretty quickly to where he just cannot get debuffed. But the damage, the survivability, it's unparalleled. Currently, right now, there's a data card for him. That's not going to be forever, but he is just amazing. It's a little bit tougher to acquire him, though. Savage Press is in the squad arena shipments, and then Wampa, you need to use some guild event currency or raid currency or something like that. So it'll take a little bit longer, but he's a very important tool for the early through mid game. Late game, he kind of falls off a bit, but really important for any new account. Number 4 is Treya, and Treya is amazing for Omicron. Honestly, probably better than all the preceding 3 Omicrons, but the reason you wait a little bit to get it is because 1, she's harder to farm, and 2, you need a full team that's not necessarily playing into a lot of immediate priorities for an early game farm. So an immediate account needs a team to get through Galactic War and all kinds of just normal content. That's Phoenix. Then she's going to want Savage on her team, so that's why he comes first, and then Wampa is just a little bit of a solo act before that. You could get Trey before Wampa. I don't think that's like a big deal. But you also need some Zetas on her and her team. You at least need Nihilus and like probably Savage, and Nihilus is a hard no farm, so it takes a little bit longer to get farmed and up and running. But this is what it does. Sith allies gain 40% crit damage, max health, and offense. Nice. Whenever a Sith suffers a debuff, they gain 10% bonus protection. So this is not protection up. This is bonus protection. Cannot be dispelled. It's just there. We can't do anything about it. And this goes like crazy. You're almost impenetrable through this. At the start of each Sith ally's turn, she dispels all debuffs on him. And Sith allies gain 5% crit damage, health steal, max health, and offense up to 100%. So that's a lot of extra damage in there. Crit damage and offense and max health. Whenever, well, Talon is a less of a priority in Scion. You kind of don't really need them, so don't worry about waiting for Scion and Talon to get this. It's just the extra damage, survivability. She is super late game viable, and then early game she's just busted. She's probably the easiest end game team to acquire. So Treya, huge value in Grand Arena. If you get her sooner than the other 3, I mean, slap it on sooner, but she's just phenomenal. Number 5 I'm on the fence about, and it's Qui-Gon Jinn. But I'd say if you don't get it early, you might not want to get it at all. Or if you're a complete no spender, if you're going to be true free to play, not spend on anything, he loses a lot because it's basically impossible to get Ki-Adi-Mundi. When you're looking at why he's good with my approach is you want Jedi Knight Anakin, Ahsoka, General Kenobi, and a lot of Galactic Republic Jedi built up for fleets, and he turns them into weapons. Now he's really fallen off for me closing out. I'm getting close to 2 years into the account since I don't have Ki-Adi-Mundi. Anakin's not doing as much as he used to, even though he is Relic 7, and he's modded well. My Qui-Gon's weak, so that's kind of helping. It's just the amount of teams I can just one-shot with Anakin are really plummeting. But Carbonite, Bronzium, even Low Chromium is still really valuable. At the start of the battle, if there are no GL allies, if there are no Galactic Legends at all, and all allies are Jedi, it doesn't have to be Galactic Republic Jedi, but you do want all Galactic Republic for Anakin's extra damage. All other allies instead gain offense equal to 30 times their speed, doubled while they have foresight. That's a lot of offense. And can't be defeated while Qui-Gon is active. So it's great for cheese. That's why it's kind of helpful. Like, even if Qui-Gon's weak, if you're breaking them on offense, everyone's going to be alive until he goes down, and then you're going to get a big duke at the end. When Qui-Gon dies, when he's defeated, all allies recover all their health and protection and gain 400% of his offense for 2 turns. So that's why you want to mod him. At least the way I did, is not worry about speed at all and just give him as much offense as you can. Like, this is a lot of flat offense since I have him really weak. He's gear 11. Honestly, he could go to gear 12. I might consider that soon. But again, if you don't get to him really early and you think it's not going to help anymore, you don't do it. If you are going to get Ki-Adi-Mundi eventually, yeah, this is still going to be excellent all the way through endgame to some degree. Maybe not Kyber 1 as much, but still going to be pretty valuable. And it's a lot of fun. It was one of the best first options I had on offense because I had just a Relic, Anakin, and Qui-Gon. I could take out so many teams that I had no chance against otherwise. So definitely a good Omicron, but just be judicious with whether you apply it or not. Omicron number 6 is probably the best one out of the list to apply in the ways that it's going to help you. So Grand Arena, while it's very important, it's where you get your crystals. You're going to be faced up against impossible opponents a lot of the time, so you're not going to be able to beat them, whatever you do. The Omicrons I've suggested so far are useful, and they are going to help you get past that large hurdle of these huge accounts. But Padawan Obi-Wan, this is one of the only PvE Omicrons that is just so well worth it. It's really going to transform your account. So other PvE Omicrons and why they're mostly not important. There's Galactic Challenges, which is a complete joke. That's just like a Gungan Kron that completely useless. Swordy has a Conquest one, which is terrible. It just helps you do better with droids, which big whoop. Who cares at all? TB, if you're running a Rise of the Empire TB, which a lot of guilds are, once they get to a critical mass, the combat waves don't really matter that much. You're getting a couple 100,000 GP, barely more than the GP of the team you deployed to beat the wave in a lot of cases. And it's only one combat wave you're going to get done. So, and then for Geonosis TB, it was made before Omicrons existed, so it's not tuned for that. You can get by everything just fine without any Omicrons. But what's so valuable about Padawan Obi-Wan, and I've made lots of videos talking about this in the past, is you can milk Padawan Obi-Wan for all he's worth throughout all conquests. At least get this before you're 4 million. Even if you're doing easy or normal conquest, he just trivializes it, makes it so easy. With feats, with winning, and you can use them over and over again. You can use them every day, like 5 times. And he can carry you through the whole thing. It's transformative. It's so valuable. It is just completely next level. The only reason I don't have it earlier is because Padawan Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, you more want to farm when you're going to be able to get them into relics, and they're not the highest priority for relics early. Like, I think you want your fleet pilots and relics early. I think you want, I mean, that's the main thing, fleet pilots, and then some Grand Arena characters and relics early. I think Darth Vader's an early relic priority because you can get a bunch of assault battles done with just him. Captain Rex because you can get your assault battles, all that kind of stuff. Once you're ready to start relicking your Padawan Obi-Wan and Master Qui-Gon, or even before that, even if he's lower relics or lower gear, he's still transformative. And now, finally, what the Omicron actually does. Allies gain 10% max health, max protection, and 30 speed. That's nice. And additional 10% max health and max protection for each relic amplifier level Padawan Obi-Wan has. So that's why he is delayed a little bit. To get the max value out of it, you need some relics on him. It's going to get survivability for the whole team. And notice throughout this whole thing, I don't think you see the word Galactic Republic anywhere. He goes with anybody. Any team is better with Padawan Obi-Wan on it. Unless that whole team is dependent on having a whole faction or whatever. Cut the offense of Sith enemies in half until the end of the battle. That's nice. There's a lot of good Sith in the Conquest. There's Darth Revan team. There's Traya teams. There's teams with Palpatine. Or is there Traya teams? No, there's not. There's not really many Traya teams. But Palpatine and Vader teams, really, really valuable. He has a 50% chance to take a bonus turn whenever an enemy ends their turn. That's insane. That's so helpful. And in Conquest, when everyone's so fast, interruption, getting to take a turn, no matter what, you can't put a price tag on that. When Padawan Obi-Wan starts his bonus turn, allies recovers 75% health, gains 75% offense for 2 turns. All enemies are inflicted with buff immunity, so that's getting a feat done there. Healing immunity for 2 turns, just shutting them down. They can't heal, they can't get buffs. Can't be resisted to. If Padawan Obi-Wan's stamina is 50% or greater, so that's why I say use them like about 5 times a day. Whenever an ally uses a special, they inflict accuracy down, crit chance down, crit damage down, defense down, evasion down, offense down, potency down, speed down, stagger, and tenacity down on enemies for 2 turns. 10 debuffs, which a lot of those are going to be incorporated in some kind of feat or another. He's an automatic feat getter. Any kind of buff or debuff, not absolutely everyone, but like almost any, like he's getting it done for you. If his stamina is 50% or greater, whenever he uses a special ability, all allies gain accuracy up, crit chance up, crit damage up, defense up, evasion up, offense up, potency up, speed up, and tenacity up for 2 turns. 9 buffs. Again, feats. So I've spent a lot of time talking about Padawan Obi-Wan, but I cannot stress enough how important this Omicron is. The only reason it's 6 on the list is because it starts to become more important a little bit later. By the time you're doing hard conquest, for sure. Normal conquest, whether you get the max grade or not, it's kind of big whoop, whatever. Hard conquest, you want to get as far as you can. He will carry you through, I promise. He's incredible, next level. I run him under Jedi Knight Luke lead, sometimes Padme lead, Jedi Knight Revan lead. You can throw him in anywhere. And for feats where you need someone to stay alive, or you need to win with a couple characters you have that are crap, low gear, is your man. You're going to get it done. So Padawan Obi-Wan, probably the most important overall Omicron on this list for an early game account, just comes a little bit later. Omicron number 7, and at this point we're playing the long game. Some might say Drogon, really? Omicrons take a long time to get, so by the time you get your 7th Omicron, you might be like a year in or something. I unlocked Leia at the end of a year, and Drogon is a long play. I guarantee there will never be a time in Galaxy of Heroes in the future where you don't want to use a Leia team. So he's always going to get use. I have like an Iden versus Yokron. I never built her up. It's not really useful. Qui-Gon, I'm not really getting as much use out of. But Drogon is just a character on a team that's always going to be there. You always want him with Leia. So he's going to be valuable in the long run. 50% max health helps him stay alive. He's an important character. That's important for you. And he's also got some support functions. At the start of the battle, if the leader is a rebel tank, aka Leia, Drogon is immune to ability block. At the start of each of his turns, he dispels all debuffs from another random ally and recovers some 25% health and protection. So that cleanses can be useful. He takes a turn, maybe R2 stunned or something. He gets R2 free. And that's impactful because R2, and he can cleanse people on his own with battle plan. But at the start of the battle, if the ally and the leader is a rebel fighter support, so that's Saw Gerrera, whenever he scores a critical hit, rebel allies gain 10% turn meter. So just a lot going on. So he's a good character. It's got long-term viability. I recommend Leia's first DL. It's just solid. So that's number 7 for me. At this point, you want to play for keeps. You don't want to pick Omicrons that are going to go out of style. Omicron number 8, and this just depends on your farming order. If you get Starkiller before Galactic Legend Leia, by all means do this before. It is a better Omicron. Just more. It's better. It's more important. I'm just kind of thinking of the order I did things. Leia is a huge priority. You want to rush her. And she gets done everything for you. But then when you get Starkiller, he's a great GL counter for a variety of teams. And his Omicron really puts the whole team together. So you got to meet all the conditions: 1 Sith, 1 Jedi, 1 light side and dark side online Force user. And you get all this stuff to begin with: all this max protection, speed, immune to daze, and stun. When Great Arenas really takes off. The start of the battle, Jedi tank allies taunt for 1 turn. Allies get another 35 speed for a total of 70. Debuffed enemies deal 50% less damage, and that's for all types of damage. Raised Whirlwind, instead of 300,000, it's 150,000, so you can actually survive it. Her ultimate cut in half if she's debuffed, all kinds of damage, really important. Whenever a Sith ally uses a basic, so Palpatine, if there's a bunch of shock on everyone, which Mara J can put on, Palpatine gets turn meter from doing his basic, and he'll call Starkiller to assist. And if there's a bunch of shock and he keeps hitting people, Starkiller will just keep assisting. And Palpatine assists Mara Jade if you have him on the team. So I know this Stranger is coming out. New players, not going to have him for a long time. So that's why this video, I'm kind of not thinking about the Stranger right now. I'm thinking of standard Palpatine, Mara Jade. So it just works together so well. Whenever another dark side Ufu uses a special ability, all allies gain crit immunity for 1 turn. So that's Mara Jade. It's not Starkiller himself. Crit immunity, very nice. And whenever Starkiller uses a special, light side healer allies have their cooldowns reduced by 4. So that's more like he's a smart for revive. And 3v3, you can just have any 2 of those following conditions. So that's really, really valuable. And then Omicron number 9, I'd recommend, is also on Starkiller. Because if you unlock Starkiller, I recommend you be ready for his unique Omicron and this one. You don't need Boundless Force Throw. For 2 words, make you not need it. While unleashed. A lot of battles get done before he's unleashed. It's going to be very minimal value. This one, however, takes a move that dispels buffs from one enemy to all enemies. So he's going to, instead of dispelling buffs from one enemy and dealing 25% more damage for each buff dispelled, it's all enemies. Think of a team that's full of buffs. Can't miss. Can't be evaded. Dispels everything. Wipes out the whole team because of all their buffs. It's really good. So this is one I highly recommend if you get Star Killer. And Star Killer, highly recommend for an early game farm. It's pretty easy. It's a bunch of Cantina energy farms, and they fit well into other teams. You can put Mara Jade goes with him. Dash Rendar, I don't know, maybe if you have CLS, Hanju, you can make a 3v3 team out of it. Talon is going to go with your Traya team, and then Kyle Katarn, you can actually put with Galactic Legend Ray and Grand Arena for a little bit. It actually works pretty well if you have Rex in there too. So 8 and 9 is Star Killer. And number 10, this is somewhat an obligatory TW Omicron. I'm going Mace Windu. I'm not going, what's her face? Mara Jade. If you're going to do a TW Omicron, I think character you have early on that's very good. You want him for fleets, at least with my approach to things. He's good in Grand Arena even without an Omicron. But Mace Windu's Omicron is going to be one that stands the test of time and is very useful. At the start of each other light side ally's turn, not even Galactic Republic, just light side, a random enemy, except for a GL, is inflicted with speed down for 1 turn and Shatterpoint. Each ally's turn, everyone's going to get Shatterpoint. This can't be evaded or resisted, and whenever an ally damages an enemy with Shatterpoint, all allies gain 5% turn meter. So that's lots of turn meter. And while you still want him with Galactic Republic, if you hit someone with Shatterpoint, everyone's getting Foresight. So anytime anyone takes a turn, someone gets Shatterpoint, you hit it, you get a Foresight, you get some turn meter, that enemy gets weaker. And it's just amazing. Is it Shatterpoint? Yeah, the Shatterpoint. Receiving damage, dispel Shatterpoint, reduces defense, max health, and offense by 10% for the rest of the encounter, and you can ignore taunt to get it. So I think this is a really good Omicron for an early game character that is good all the way into the late game. Maze is super easy to acquire, and I don't know how hard Galactic War is anymore with the acceleration to level 85, but he single-handedly carried me through a lot of early Galactic Wars with his Shatterpoint. There were enemies I could not kill, and he got me through. So, and with the Endurance, that's the starting fleet. So any resource poured into Mace is a resource well spent. So that's why I will give him my only TW Omicron recommendation for the way I approach the game with the roster I choose to go for. And yeah, that is my top 10. And a side note, the only Omicron I really regret on this small account so far, I don't really regret Qui-Gon, but if I could get that refunded now, I'd probably take it. I had Versio. I never got her past gear 10 yet. I'm not really actively building her team. It's just not doing a whole lot for me. I set her on defense in 3v3, maybe 5v5 sometimes. She's actually gotten a couple holds, but I probably would prefer to get that back at this point. It's just early on, Omicrons can burn a hole in your pocket if you're getting them and you don't have someone you want to apply them to. So just be really careful with your Omicrons. That said, with my top 10, these are ones I've thought about, and I think you're not going to regret them in the end, and they're going to help you out a lot early on. So it's with a huge emphasis on Padawan Obi-Wan. As soon as you're going to be looking to get him in relics, and at least, at the latest, right before you hit 4 million GP, you will not regret it. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.